Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you joining us to Prosharp webinar, which will be like this is the first webinar that we hold from Sweden. And bear with us if there's any technical difficulties, and we'll try to learn from this. Within this webinar, we'll introduce you to our company, the concepts that we work with, as well as we'll go through our product line. This webinar will be the first part of a series that we do. Well, we take you through this various concepts in terms of skate gear, such as skate sharpening, the honing the skate, and skate profiling. Those other sequences, as opposed to the one that we do today, they will be published later. So please stay tuned on social media, and we'll follow the link with you as those will be published. I think we first will introduce. I introduce myself, and then Niclas takes a turn to introduce himself. So my name is Mikko Kuparinen. My area in the Prosharp is Europe sales. I worked within the company for 5 years. The first 4 years I worked in Canada in our Vancouver office, and then I've worked for the 1 year in around Europe. So the focus being in Central Europe sales. I'll try to, like, we collaborate with the Sweden, Finland, but mostly I'm in Central Europe area. And I have a hockey background, and I find that this really helps for connecting with the customers, which we actually all do within a company, that everybody has relation to. They either played hockey or they're being trainers or really involved with within the hockey industry. So this helps to relate customer needs in terms of the hockey player, or if you're equipment manager, or you're a store owner, or just a recreational user. We'll really try to put a heart on it that we can help you to get the best service possible.
Great, Mikko. My name is Niclas Rosenholm. I worked more than 7 years now for Prosharp. I started in production, building machines, and now I'm working together with Mikko on sales on the Europe market. I also played hockey as a kid. I'm playing in the beer league now with the old guys. As Mikko said, I'm feeling that this helps me in my daily work with helping other out with how to choose right machine, how to give more information on profiling, and so I have that in my back, and that gives me a secure day of work when I'm helping people out. Today we are located in, I'll turn off that, in Sundsvall. There's a factory. We moved from 1st of April to this facility, which means that we increased the volume of the headquarters, which means that we can build more machines, take care of more service, and so on. We are also building an ice rink, so we can do ice demo, ice test in our own facility. It's a smaller one, but it's going to be great. Here is where all machines are building. We also have our company in Toronto that's based in MasterCard Center. They take care of the sales in Canada. Sales, service, and support. We're sending machines from Sweden directly to Canada, and as well to the guys in Boston. So we have our head office in Sweden and 2 other offices in Toronto and Boston. If we're looking back from the start of 18th century, it all started in Finland. Magnus, the owner today, his grandfather's father was a gunsmith, and after the war, he made his own skates. He skated over the sea from Finland to Sweden, and ended up just north of Sundsvall. Magnus' grandfather and Magnus' father. Both of these guys were technical guys who was engineered at the paper mill, and Rune was the one who invented the AS 2001. Due to that, Magnus was playing hockey. He wasn't satisfied with the skate sharpening, so he wanted to have a machine who made it work, and that's when the AS 2001 came up. Today's owner, Magnus, this is how he looks. 1984, Rune started the company. 1986, we sold the first AS 2001 who looked like this. And actually this machine is still running. We bought it back 3 years ago. So that gives us a receipt that we're doing quality stuff. 1995, Magnus took over, and the company was still like was still a garage company like Apple and Google, and he developed the skate pal and the 1001 after that. So 99 we sold the first AS 1001. 2000 we started a collaboration with Peter Forsberg and his father on the North American markets. 2004 we came out with the new superior profile, which means that you have 3 radius on the same blade. 2007 we sold the first skate pal. 2013 we developed a new profile named Quad with 4 different radius on the same skate. 2014 we opened our own office in US and Canada. 2016 we launched the home unit for the home market. 2018 we upgraded the AS 2001 with the self-centering, which means that you will have clamping mechanism from both sides. So you don't have to measure the skate anymore. It also gives you the opportunity to profile 2 blades in one go. 2019 we're starting a collaboration with Bauer. 2020 we started a collaboration with Elias Pettersson and his youth club Ånge IK. 2020 the Power Profile is launched on the new ultrasonic skates.
And so why do we collaborate with Bauer Hockey? One of the big reasons is that the edge holder, they've been leading the market within this segment where you can interchange the steels, which will allow players and skaters in general to try different profiles and really find the profile that fits you, since it has such a big impact on performance, and whether you're a performance player or you're just a recreational skater. The growing within this segment, aftermarket steels, is the one that we want to be part of, because we really want to help the customers to find the right profile, and learning about different elements on skate sharpening, what importance is that they're consistent, and your profile is the one that you should be skating on. And this leads to that what the values with the Prosharp has been, that we really want to share the knowledge on all type of skaters and players. And we really find that it is important for like, let's say that you're a professional player, and it's easy to think that they would understand, they know exactly what the hollows mean and what the radiuses mean, but that isn't necessarily this way. And we try to do these education sessions that we go to the professional teams, and we talk about skate sharpening, we talk about profiling, and then we do the ice test. And again, we want to cooperate with the Bauer, as it has such a big name within the market. Yeah, Niclas, you can just, yeah. And so like further on collaboration with Bauer, the shared knowledge about profiling. we've had education sessions with them, the ice tests, where they can try different profiles and really get them to understand what capacity there is, almost untapped in a really large scale. I have to mention also that I think it was a year ago or so, the Bauer, year and a half ago, that Bauer actually bought one of our AS 2001 All Pro machines because they wanted to experiment what the profiles are, and they started offering the service for some of the NHL teams that they could actually give them a profile they could give them a steels pre-profile. And then now that we have this collaboration with Bauer, all the new skates will have within a skate box, there's an information sticker that tells about a little bit more about profile. That's a slide that we'll show later on, and have to mention that all the skates are pre-profiled. So here we can see the sticker that the skate box has. On top right corner, there's you can see agility profile, which means that would be superior, 3 different size of radiuses. That translates to the vapor skate, and then the supreme has the power profile that is quad 0 profile. And why profiling? Profiling is really important feature in terms of performance. And the other terminology that often is used is the hollow on a skate. Radius of hollow, when you have a deep radius, means that the number generally is lower, meaning that the curvature on the bottom of steel is deeper, giving you the better grip, but you will sacrifice on the glide. On the other hand, when you have a really shallow hollow, the number is bigger. On that case, you get a more glide, but you're going to sacrifice a little bit on a grip. So it is really important that you find that you don't only talk about the radius or the hollow. That's always combination. When you find the right profile that you want to skate on, then you start experimenting that you find the right hollow. So let's say that you used to skate on a stock skate with a 10-foot radius, and you had a let's say 15 millimeter hollow, and now you have a quad 0 profile that has a 4 different size of radiuses. Now you can reduce your hollow radically. You can go all the way to 20, 25. So that's giving you a more glide, but you still have the same bite.
Thank you for that, Mikko. We will show you some of our machines now and talk about what we can do with them. So we're coming back to the presentation soon. First model that we're going to check is the Prosharp home unit. This is for the home market and customer. Has an easy self-centering clamp grip. Just tighten the nut. Then you can press start for 1 press equals 1 cycles, 3 passes, 3 pushes. Comes with a diamond coated wheel. We change the wheel for which hollow you want. Easy to carry on, 8.5 kilo. Second machine that we're going to look at is the skate pal. It has also diamond coated wheels. And what you do is that you open the lid. You change the wheel for which hollow you want. Self-centering on a clamp mechanism and easy 1 push operation. Up to 5 passes. You can set the wheel pressure as well. Smaller stores and teams are using this one. Easy to carry on, 16 kilo. We also have a longer version of this one, who also takes the speed skates. And for all these machines, you're also able to sharpen figure skates. But with this longer version, you can also do the speed skates and cross-country skates. Skate rack, perfect, 24 pairs, easy to move the skates from the locker room to sharpening area or in the store to collect them. Easy to just sharpen, need to sharpen. Easy way to do it. Our 2001 machine has a ceramic wheel. We form the wheel with a diamond tool to get the right hollow. Now also with self-centering on the clamp, which allows us to sharpen one pair of skates, one steel at a time, but you can also do profiling with two blades in one go. What you do is that you make the medium first and then you profile them. 1001, 29 kilo. This is also a portable version. You have self-centering on the clamp steel with the diamond tool as well for the ceramic wheel, 29 kilo. This is more for the bigger stores and teams who's traveling with this one. It's also very popular for the figure skating. We have a longer version of the ACE 2001, which allows us to profile the speed skates as well, with the long blades, the cross-country skates, also with the ceramic wheel and diamond tool, also with longer templates than on the regular 2001. It's not with the self-centering mechanism. So you need to adjust the wheel sideways with this machine.
Yeah, got the hollow, push the flat hollow. Change the slide, Niclas. So what the radius means that it's a curvature on the bottom of a steel. So every single skate or every single steel has a profile. It just depends whatever they have been laser cut or cut with.
Is the sound better now, guys? I'm seeing in the comments that we have problems with the sound.
It's okay here. Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so every skate that as they have this radius, when you're doing a Prosharp profiling, you need to profile at least 65, let's say 65 to 70% of the blade to making sure that you really get that skating area that you have on ball of foot to the heel, giving you that features, whatever it is going to be, the single radius profile, 2 radius, 3 radius, or quad 4 radius profile. So that's how you set up the machine, which you can do that. You profile 65 to 70% of the area. The profiling is it is single most important feature that you can do within your any kind of the hockey gear, but that really impacts on your performance. So interaction between the profile, that's the first thing you choose or test, like what profile fits you. And the second stage is that you find the right hollow, that your skate can't be digging it too much into the ice, and that way reducing your speed. So the profile first, and then you find the flat as possible hollow as you possibly feel comfortable skating with. Profiling really helps for younger players to find their balance. Let's say that you're somebody who started skating just now and you're really lacking the balance. It would benefit that you have a large single radius profile that gives you that sense of a balance. You can start feeling how the skate glides in. You comfortably start experimenting with your edges. And as your performance level progresses, you find a different profile that fits you. Natural sort of step would be that you go first single radius. When it's a little bit better, you go 2 radiuses, and after those 2 stages, you'll either experiment with the 3 radius profile, which is superior, or 4 radius profile that is quad, just based on whatever you're looking for your skates and what fits for you. And also for profiling, really important feature is that, let's say that pro players use so much time on the ice. And for profiling the skate, if there's any kind of imbalance between the height of a steel with the new SC model that we have, you have an option. Well, you have like that you can grind down the steels at the same height. So that puts your hip level on the same level to start with. And then when you have a right profile, that will reduce your groin and back injuries as well. Go ahead. Yeah. And based on extensive research that we've done over the 36 years with technical universities, with professional players, with the skating coaches, we found that there's 4 different segments on a steel that translates into your performance. And this is really why the latest profile that we have is a quad. The front part of a steel translates to your acceleration. So you want to have a shorter radius there that you can really release your feet when you're accelerating. When you move to the agility stage, when you're doing a really quick turns, your center of a balance moves slightly towards the mid blade. So in that, keeping in mind that agility segment should be slightly longer than your acceleration, giving you that stability, but at the same time, you can turn quickly because the radius isn't too long. The third segment is speed, roughly on the mid steel. And when you're skating fast, we really want to have lots of steel or much as possible steel on the ice, that giving you that the gliding surface, same as speed skaters, for example, they have large skate and really long radiuses. So that allows them to use the blade and get that water pattern underneath the steel that gives you the maximum speed. So in that sense, the third radius speed segment needs to be the longer than any of those 2 other, acceleration and agility. And then the last segment is stability, when player is battling on the corners or you're in front of the net, anywhere seeking your balance, we tend to look at from the back of the skate. So the stability area on the steel should have the longest radius or the largest radius. And that is where the quad profile is based on, and really why it performs so well. Yeah, go ahead, Niclas.
Yeah, and the new profiles on the Supreme, as we talked about, the Supreme Ultrasonic, Supreme 3S Pro, and Supreme 3S for senior and intermediate will come with a quad profile, and that is the standard quad 0 profile that's coming. The new pair of steels on the aftermarket, we will be talking about them later. But what you need to do is that you need to reprofile them, and we're going to talk about that later as well. And we are also going to show how to do it and set it up in the machine. They're also launching new steels, Pulse and Pulse TE. TI stands for titanium coating. Both of these steels are your own and are not that sentient as the LS5 steels. Profiling practice, pre-profiled as they come from the factory, and as I said, you need to make the last tuning on them before you sell them or hand them out, which means that you need to just make them 100% even and quickly put on the quad 0 again. Just
Siinä on vielä Wikipediasta lainattuna näitä kerrannaisyksiköitä, niitä on vähän muitakin.
I never had some Finnish radio as well. the pivot point, the lowest point, it's moved backward 20 millimeter on the center mark on the new pair of skates, and I will show you how to do it. And why we have done it, that is so you should get a more natural forward lean when you're doing the acceleration. Recommended package: skate rack, as you saw out, vacuum workstation, and with the vacuum, then you put the vacuum cleaner in here. We will show you later, and close the lid for the machine. And the thought now is that we should take a quick run at the machine and see how to set up a profile, how to do a reprofile with new pair of steels. So I will switch to cell phone again, and after that we go through questions. Now we're going to go through how to profile a pair of blades with the 2001 model. What you do is that you move the sledge to the left, so you have flat, press the wheel on flat. You take two pair of steels, use the magnets on top so you get the same height on them. Use a marker, put it on so you have the same number on each side. That gives you the center on 0. Then what you do is that you look at the holder size. In this case it's a 272 from Bauer. So you put it here again, then you use the marks, 272. 272. Between these marks now is where we want to do the profiling. What you do next is that you mark the blade under. So it will be easier for you to see if they're even or not, like that. Attach both steels in, like that, and then you go flat. 3, 4, or 5 passes, depending on how the blade looks. So what we want to achieve with this is that we want to have 2 equal pairs. So when you have removed the marker on both blades, you're ready to profile. So for setting up the profile, we're putting the pivot point over the sensor, the center mark centered in the machine. Clamp the skate. You choose your template. Put it in. You clamp it. What you can do is use a marker and look at the marks under. That will make it easier for you when you do the setup of the profiling. What you do then is that you press this one once to start flashing and start. Now just the sledge arm is moving. What we want to do now is that we want to set the height of the guide roll. So it starts rolling here, stops here, and start rolling again here. So we're sharpening between these 2 marks. And then we're going to sharpen until the guide roll is rolling on the whole surface. Then we have copied this surface to the blade. So what we can see now is that we're going to remove plenty of material. Means that we need to raise this one. Now we need to lower it. So we get get it between the marks. It's a little bit longer on the heel. Perfect on the toe. So what you can do then is that you set the total length of each cycle with these marks on top here by using these. If you're pressing 3 times, you will have 2 lights. That means that the top of the wheel will just go between these 2 dots. And then you can go for multiple cycles by pressing start. If you have a new pair of steels from the Bauer ultrasonic skates that comes with a pre-profiled quad zero profile, you need to touch them up and make the last finish on them. What you do all these steps with the center mark, the size of the holder, but you also make the mark 20 millimeter backwards, where we have the lowest point. So what we do is that we make sure that the pivot point is over the sensor. We use the 20 millimeter back, centered in the pivot point. You hold the skate and you move the sledge to its original pivot point or center mark. And that is to get the exact profiling for the power quad profile. And then you do the same setup with the guide roller. And when you find that, you're able to profile your skates again. And after that, just go for 1 by 1 with the right hollow you want. And then don't forget to hone them afterwards. I hope that all of you are following us on our Instagram account and our Facebook. If not, please join us there for stay tuned and find the latest updates on everything.